Hi, I'm Cliff, and this is my garage. And today we're going to continue with installing my 12-foot car lift into my 10-foot garage. Hey, welcome back to the garage. And if this is your first time joining me, thanks for dropping by. So, we're continuing on with the installation of a 12-foot car lift into my 10-foot tall garage. Last night we got the first column up, although it got a little hairy there for a while. But we got it up, and today we're going to continue on by getting that first column into position on the other side of the garage, getting the second column stood up, and hopefully get the two of them tied together with that top channel. Please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. All right, let's get going. Okay, so after last night's near fiasco, hopefully this morning things will go more smoothly. What I've done is I've cleared out some space. I got the forklift around on the back side of the column here. Well, really it's the front side, but you know what I mean. I got it on that side of the column. And I'm going to basically use the forklift to bear hug this thing, pick it up, and put it on that end where it belongs. Now, what I've done is I've put in, this is a piece of a glulam beam. This is not 5 2x4s just stacked up here. These are all glued together as one piece. There is a heavy steel thing poking out here. I think this is where the safety latch release is going to be mounted, but I'm going to use that as my point to pick this thing up by getting this piece of glulam beam underneath it. I've used a ratchet strap to tie all this together so that it won't hopefully shift on me. And then I've got a piece of plywood back here, or a piece of actually OSB, and some cardboard to act as some protection so I don't scrape it up any more than it's already been scraped up in shipping. I've also brought the forks in really tight against it, and my main concern is that this piece I'm using to lift is off-center. So it's off-center to this side. So I'm thinking when it picks it up, it's going to tend to flip this way. And that's why I've got another ratchet strap around the top there. It's actually looped around it and pulled very tight to keep that top from shifting. And the thing to remember is I only need to lift this up ½ an inch. I don't need to get this thing all the way off the ground, a foot or so. I just got to get it a little bit off the ground, carefully move it forward, and then I'll be able to use the side shift capability of the forklift to get it fairly close to the final position. So let's hope things go smoother today than they did last night. Okay, so let's see how clean our lift goes. I'm going to try and carefully pick this up. All right, so far so. Oh, okay, that was very clean and easy. Gonna get this cardboard out of the way. Okay. This looks good. Helps to take the parking brake off. Okay, this is going very, very. Put this should be about 6. Some parking brake. Okay, that looks just about perfect. gonna slightly off in terms of being square. So I'm just take it straighten my wheels, go straight again. Recheck my squareness. I'm a little too close. I think I'm going to back up just a hair. Okay, and then I'm going to side shift it into the center. Oh, wrong way. Into the center between the rafters. And now we put it down. Okay. Wow, that I think that went pretty well. Okay, so column number 2 is up and roughly in place. I just repeated the same process I used in column number 1. Now I had planned to take and move the lift point down to this end, right over where this column is. But in the center part of the truss, I couldn't find a place I was comfortable attaching the pulley. Basically, on that end, there's members that slope down like this, and I could put it kind of on top of it and brace my cross piece that I was hanging the pulley off of. Here in the middle, I'd have to basically go straight across and use screws directly in, and I just wasn't comfortable putting this much weight onto, let's say, 4 or 6 screws. It probably would have been okay. I just didn't feel comfortable. And I started thinking about it when I had the lift point down there and I stood it up after lifting as much as I could. It was basically right where this column needs to be. So it kind of worked out. I ended up putting the chain and the cross pieces back up where they were to start with and repeated the same process exactly like you saw in the last clip. We pulled it up. It lifted up as high as it could go. At that point, the column was about a 70-degree angle or so. And then my wife operated the winch, and my daughter and I just pushed up on the column. It wasn't hard. It was close to being balanced at that point. So it was very minimal effort to push it up as my wife backed off on the winch and slowly let it settle in over on this side. I didn't show it because they're not comfortable being on camera, so we just did it, and I just tell you about it. Okay, so our next step is going to be to take this cross beam and get it up into the ceiling or into the attic space and on top of the 2 columns. This should be interesting. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this because this isn't super heavy, but it's really heavier than one person should try and manage going up a ladder. I'm going to try using my same winch lift, and we'll see how that works out. I'm going to try and do some experiments with rigging, and I'll be back with you as soon as I figure something out.
Well, my mic died completely during this part, so I'll just narrate for a bit. I attached the strap to the beam and used the winch to raise it up into place. As you can see, it wasn't as stable as I would have liked, and I kept hitting the columns. But it did work fine in terms of lifting the beam. My plan was to raise the beam until it hit the roof and then keep pulling up to lever the other end up and into place. It didn't work. Once again, I ran out of lifting room before the beam could come completely up, so I just put a board under the far end, then pushed the near end up by hand and put another board under there.
Okay, so now that I've got the top channel kind of in place up here in the attic, The next task is to lift the channel up on top of the beams, or on top of the columns. And I think my plan of attack is I'm going to take and put this end on top of that column, maybe tie it down with a ratchet strap or something, but then I'm going to go back over on the other end, or toward the other end, where I've got my lift point, where I've been hauling stuff up here, and use it to pick up the rest of the beam. So it'll be sitting here like at an angle, and then I'm going to pick it up and get it on top of the other column. That's the plan. This is stuck on. Basically, the other end, where the mounting point sticks out, it was getting stuck in this part of the truss. Much better. Okay. This is so slick, it's sliding backwards. Try it, get it over. Okay, too far. There. It's got it hanging too far over on the other end, but it's hooked onto the column, which keeps it, please Lord, I hope so, from sliding back that way. Now I gotta go up there and try to rig up a way to pick this thing up. Okay, so the plan to lift it up with a ratchet strap did not work. I wasn't thinking a ratchet strap can only move a little bit. You can only ratchet it up a little bit before the roll of the strap gets too big and you can't advance it anymore. So it is only able to lift it a couple of inches. So I've gone back to, I've reset and turned that other column around, and I'm going to try to simply lift it by hand on top of this one. Oh, okay, that's not bad. A little bit of a shift. That's kind of scary. Whew. All right, we're squared up on top of that one. Got to go back to the other end and put it fully into position. There. Now those are kind of out of position. The way I had to do it, the columns are now too close, so they're kind of splayed out like this. I take the other one and move it back. I got the top beam bolted on. Let me tell you, that was not fun. Really tight spaces to try and get my hands into, especially standing on top of a 10-foot ladder. But I was able to brace myself against the trusses, and it was just very, very tight spaces. So now that I've got the top beam on, I need to get the columns in approximately the right position so that I can start checking level and plumb. You may be wondering, how does one move a 460-pound column once it's standing up like this, just by hand? If they were loose, you can kind of wobble them and get them to kind of walk some. It's not that hard to do, but once they're tied together like this, you can't do it anymore. So the best way to do it is just get yourself a 2x4, put it against the base, get a hammer. It'd be good if I had a better handle on this one, but this is what I got. And you just start, maybe put on some ear protection, because it does get kind of noisy. There's my ear muffs. And let's move this column some. Slow and tedious, but it does work. Okay, that's looking more or less right. Hit one side or the other to twist it. Okay, that's a good starting spot. Okay, one thing I came across a little bit irksome, because it's not mentioned at all in the assembly manual, is this is in the lift carriage, and that's the lift chain. And what this is this is a pulley at the top of the hydraulic cylinder. So when you tell it to lift the car, it pushes, it uses the hydraulic cylinder, it extends the ram and pushes that pulley up, and then the chain is riding over it, and the chain is hooked to the base and to the carriage. And so when it extends that pulley, the cable, the chain sliding over it is what pulls up on the carriage and lifts the car. That's the way it's supposed to be, with the pulley positioned like that and the chain over it. However, what I found when I had stood the columns up is I happened to look down in there and realize on both sides the chain was off the pulley. It just shaken loose in transport. Now, there is nothing in the owner's manual or the assembly manual that tells you to look out for this, and I find that a little irksome. There's a separate, the assembly instructions are not the greatest I've ever seen. They're not the worst by far, because they're not Chinglish, but they have some weak points, and this is one of them. It doesn't tell you to look up this at all. I happened to be talking to one of their techs about another issue, some damage on the lift, and he said, oh, by the way, look out for this. And sure enough, I had this problem, and he said, just make sure you look for it and fix it while the posts are still on the ground, because when you get them stood up, it's really hard to fix it. Well, unfortunately, by this time, and I didn't tell him this because I didn't know I had the problem, but I had already stood the posts up, and now the problem is that chain is really, really tight. And that carriage, I would guess, weighs between 100 to 150, maybe even more. And so it's not like you can just kind of lift up a little bit on it. So after puzzling it out, I did find a solution. I found that if I took my little mini pallet jack and kind of pick up the back end, I can get the very tip of it under here, and then use the jack to pick up on the carriage. This gave me enough slack on the chain that I could then kind of pick it up and wiggle things around and get the pulley turned straight and the chain on the pulley. Kind of a pain, but luckily I was able to figure out a solution pretty quickly.